Time now for the STOHD.com Diamond in the Rough, and it's K-Tribe pitcher David Roberts. STOHD.com's Tony Lastorius says the Indians like the 2008 fourth-round pick out of Long Beach State. Power arm, good build. His two-seam fastball has good life and movement. Sits 91 to 93. He's touched 95. He complements the two-seamer with a four-seamer, a power curve that sits in the low to mid-80s, and a change. He's big and strong. His late inning ability with the potential to be a major league middle reliever or even a setup man down the road is something the Indians like.
Yeah, and the Indians are very high on him, a fourth rounder in 08. And what this kid is capable of doing is striking out hitters. And anytime that you can do that at the back end of the bullpen, you're going to have success. His breaking ball is extremely violent. It looks very good. It has late life, good break. But what's very nice is he can spot his fastball too at the same time.
Read more about Indians prospects every week on Minor Happenings on STOHD.com and in Tony's book listing the 100 top Tribe prospects. And welcome back to the show. The next player that we're going to talk about, really manager, he's never missed the playoffs in the Indian system as a manager. That's Mike Sarbaugh, and now he's trying to get the Columbus Clippers into the AAA playoffs. With more on this week's edition of the Minor League Insider, here's Scott Leo with Sarby.
We are here at Huntington Park in Columbus, and joining us is Clippers manager Mike Sarbaugh. And Skip, it's been a very up and down season for the Clippers. For quite a while, you really had probably the most talented team in all of AAA baseball. It was fun to watch from the broadcast booth. It had to be fun to manage this team when things were really firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, like you said, we've had a lot of good talent here that's come through, and it's going up to Cleveland to help the big league club. And it's always good to see that because, that's why we're here to help develop players, to help our big league club. So it's been very rewarding, and it's also given some younger players an opportunity to play here.
You talked at the beginning of the year about the difference between AA and AAA, and you said later in the season you'd have a better idea, but you talked about more mature veteran players and things of that nature. What about the transaction factor, where the big league clubs' moves directly relate what you're doing here? Is that a major difference?
Yes, it is, because we are here at Columbus. We're affected a lot more what happens with the big league club. Down in Akron last year, a few times, but that's part of why what happens at this level. And I think for myself and our staff, that's part of all of us here. First year here, we've had to deal with some of that. But like I said, a lot of the players that have come up from Akron this year have really played well for us, and there have been some good additions. So from that standpoint, we've had a lot of good things happen here.
It seems to me like with the clubhouse constantly changing, the chemistry would be constantly changing on this ball club. It's almost like being a teacher and you've got different students in the class from day to day or week to week. Do you have to adapt to make sure that this clubhouse stays positive even when the names and faces change?
Yeah, I think that is big with the chemistry. I think that's the biggest thing that affects with the movement. So on the field it's not. I don't think it's as big, but in the clubhouse, a lot when new players come in, getting to know each other, and especially late in the year like this, we've had a lot of new players come in, and we're being in a pennant race, and so just having them feel like they're a part of it. That's the challenge.
You've been in several pennant races before at the minor league level, and you know that pitching wins. Talk about this staff. Carlos Carrasco was thought to be number 6 for Cleveland when camp broke back in March, but he's had a bit of an up and down season. What is it you guys are still looking for out of Carlos as he gets ready to go to the big leagues again?
Well, I think Carlos, from the beginning of the season till now, I think he's made tremendous strides, just from pitch development, little things like controlling the running game, and just how dealing with a little adversity on the mound, just his overall approach. His last 3 or 4 outings here have been outstanding. He's got a great 4-pitch mix. He's going to be a good big league pitcher, and I think he's right where he needs to be. He's a young pitcher, 23 years old, and I think he has a very bright future. So I think just from his development standpoint, it's been a good year for Carlos.
You talked about the guys that came up from AA, that second wave, if you will, and they included guys like Matt McBride and Jared Gettert and Cord Phelps and Josh Rodriguez. The list goes on and on and on, and I know it may be tough to pick out one or two, but who's impressed you this year? Who has played well at this level where maybe you thought they would struggle or it would take them a little longer to adapt?
Well, I think Cord Phelps is the one guy that stands out for me. Just second full season, comes to AAA, and just has been consistent since he's been here. Consistent at bats, day in, day out. He's a switch hitter, played solid defensively at second base. He's a gamer. Little nagging injuries, he plays through them. He wants to play. He's a baseball player, and he's been very consistent for us. Jared Gettert has done a great job for us. Came here, I think he had 17 home runs in the first 40 days. Really made an impact for us. Josh Rodriguez has been solid at second and short. Really has swung the bat well. And then, the other guys that have come up here from Matt McBride has been solid for us. So it's been good. It's been good to see a lot of those younger players getting the opportunity and making the most out of it.
Here we are at the end of the season, and this team has struggled a bit down the stretch. You've been on championship clubs before, and you've had winning clubs at every level you've managed. What is it going to take for this team to, A, get into the postseason, and to, B, win a championship?
Well, I think it's the consistency day in, day out. Like you said, we haven't played well here the last 2-3 weeks, but it's about getting good starting pitching. But we have to make the plays. We have to take the extra base, keep the pressure on the opposition. But I think the one thing is if we do lose a game, you don't panic. We come back the next day knowing we have a good team, and we've done good things all year long. And just because you lose a few in a row doesn't dictate the season. Just go out here and relax. And like I tell the guys, you start putting too much pressure on yourself. You start swinging at pitches out of the zone. You start as a pitcher, trying to spot it on the black, and you get yourself in trouble. So it's just keep it simple, and then good things will happen.
All right, Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thanks.
Hey, thanks, Scott.
Clippers manager Mike Sarbaugh here at Huntington Park in Columbus. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Scott, for that. And, Mike Sarbaugh, I played for him when he was the hitting coach for Akron. Just a great guy all the way around, great manager. And I hope that someday he gets his chance at the big league level, because I think he could do some great things at the big league level.
Yeah, good guy and doing a nice job with the Columbus Clippers this year. Let's hope they make the postseason. That would be fun to see. All right, we'll take a break here with Indians Minor League Magazine. When we come back, more to give you, including our focus on the future. The subject this week is 20th round pick Marty Popham. He wowed him in Mahoning Valley last season. Now he's already climbed to Kinston. Stay tuned.
Beautiful. 26, 36 feet per second up.